Jane Eyre was born into a world that did not welcome her. Orphaned at a young age, she was sent to live with her aunt, Mrs. Reed, a woman who never wanted her. In that grand, cold house, Jane was treated as an outsider, unloved and unwanted. She was not beautiful, she was not wealthy, but she had something far greater, an unbreakable spirit. She endured cruelty from her cousins, especially the spoiled and vicious John Reed. One day, after he struck her, she finally fought back. But instead of justice, she was locked away in the terrifying Red Room, where her uncle had died years before. Alone, afraid, and rejected, Jane learned her first lesson about the world. It was not kind to the powerless. Her aunt, eager to be rid of her, sent her to Lowood Institution, a strict charity school for orphans. Life there was harsh. Cold rooms, little food, and cruel teachers. But Jane endured. She found kindness in one friend, Helen Burns, who taught her patience, faith, and resilience. But even kindness could not escape tragedy. Helen fell ill and died, leaving Jane with another lesson. Life was unfair, but one must keep moving forward. Years passed, and Jane became a teacher. But she longed for more. She wanted freedom. She wanted life beyond Lowood's walls. She answered an ad for a governess position at Thornfield Hall, a mysterious, shadowed estate owned by the enigmatic Mr. Rochester. Rochester was not like other men. Dark, brooding, full of secrets, he was both intimidating and fascinating. Jane, though quiet and reserved, challenged him. She spoke her mind. She was honest, fearless, and unwilling to be anyone's pawn. And Rochester, for the first time in his life, met someone who saw him, not as a rich man, not as a master, but as an equal. Slowly, without realizing it, they fell in love. But happiness is rarely simple. On the day of their wedding, a terrible truth was revealed. Rochester had a wife, Bertha Mason, a madwoman locked in the attic of Thornfield. Jane's heart shattered. She had found love, but at what cost? Rochester begged her to stay. "We belong together. My past is not my choice. I love you, Jane." But Jane would not be a second choice, a mistress, a secret. She loved him, but she loved herself more. And so she left. Heartbroken, lost, she wandered the countryside, starving, desperate, until she was taken in by a kind family, the Rivers. She found comfort, work, and a new purpose. But something inside her whispered, this was not her fate. Then one night, she felt it, as if a voice from miles away had called her name. Jane, Jane. She could not explain it, but she knew. She had to go back. When she returned to Thornfield, she found only ruins. The grand estate had burned to the ground. And Rochester? He had saved everyone from the fire, but lost his sight and his hand in the process. No longer a powerful man, no longer in control, just a broken soul in need of love. And Jane? She was no longer the girl who had run away. She had found herself. She had proved her strength. Now she could choose Rochester, not as a man who owned her, but as a man she loved freely. And so she stayed. Jane Eyre's story is not just about love, it's about strength. She did not let hardship define her. She did not let love consume her. She chose her own destiny. To love another, you must first love yourself. To be truly free, you must stand on your own. Jane was not a princess waiting to be saved. She was her own savior. And that is why, even today, her story lives on. Don't forget, if this story inspired you, hit like and subscribe for more powerful storytelling. What do you think was Jane's greatest strength? Share your thoughts in the comments. Turn on notifications so you never miss a story that makes you think and feel.